We are back yet again with another exciting episode of OCG Thursday. So today we're going to be looking at basically what went down at the Asian Championship this past weekend. The top 3 slots, kind of just seeing what happened. There was no Sky Striker in the finals, and I think that shocked a lot of people on the OCG side of the game. Just because a lot of people were like, oh, the deck was doing so good, and then all of a sudden, nothing. I think it's particularly interesting to see like something like Sky Striker just kind of fall off after X limitations and things like that. And it goes to show that the OCG, not so much as like changing their format per se, but people are exploring other options and things like that. So, first list we have is actually Dino Thunder, essentially. So, let's dig on into this, shall we? So we have triple copies of Armageddon Knight. Man, I still wish we had this. Being able to dump off the Destrudo or the Overtex, search for, ye old Devolution Pill and things like that. Yeah, absolutely a power card for what this deck needs in its life. So, triple copies of that. We have 2 copies of Ash Blossom. We have 1 copy of Destrudo. And then, of course, 2 copies of Prankatops. I think that this is probably the coolest part, that you can actually bring this out off of the double evolution pill, and just, use it as a means to pop stuff. Kind of crazy. We do have 1 copy of Jet Synchron, of course, for, where's our friend? Oh, yes, Needle Fiber. And then, of course, we have 1 Draculeo, triple copies of Maxi, of course, an essential staple in the OCG, 1 copy of Miscellaneous Ceratosaurus. I'm actually surprised to see that they're not playing more, but I guess in the long run, your dinosaur count isn't particularly great. I mean, they only have 1 Overraptor anyway. Playing 2 copies of Overtex, of course. Getting the pill is probably the best thing that you can do with this deck. 1 copy of Overraptor, triple copies of Thunder Dragon, Dragon Dart, of course 1 Dragonhawk, 2 copies of Dragon Roar himself, and we have 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Spells pretty standard. We have triple copies of Allure Darkness, triple copies of Called by the Grave, triple copies of Double Evolution Pill. Like I said, probably the best card in the deck. The hard ones per turn. Also, playing 3 copies to kind of make sure that the later the game goes, that you will have backup copies of this in reserve. Definitely something that would be considered a good idea. We have 1 copy of Foolish Rail, 2 copies of Fossil Dig. It's kind of crazy that they still have this heavy limitations on dinosaurs, but I guess when the dinosaur engine is as good as it actually is, gotta do something about it. 1 copy of Gold Sark, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Rhoda, 1 Twin Twister, and 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Now, the extra deck down here is kind of weird. We have 1 Relinquished Anima, 1 copy of Lambada. At this point, Lambada has just become a generic monster. He's not even citing the drivers and stuff, or the gammas. So, I guess it's kind of interesting, but just a generic, more powerful monster over Landphonicus. 1 copy of Ningrissu, 1 copy of Link Kribo, 1 copy of Unicorn, of course, 1 Phoenix, 1 Needle Fiber, Boral Sword and Boral Load, TG Wonder Magician, of course Titan, 2 Colossus, 1 Starving Venom, and 1 of the Solomon Great Violet Chimera. This is the card that you're actually going to probably want to pick up coming forward in the future, just to make sure that you can beat the Solomon Great matchup. Then we have 2 copies of DD Crow, 1 Prankatops, 1 Dogglemon, 1 Gamma Seal, 2 copies of Phantamaze. This card's going to be so expensive. 1 copy of Cosmic, 2 Super Poly, 1 Infinite Impermanence, triple red reboot, and 1 Vanity's Emptiness, wrapping this up. I do like seeing that Dino Thunder is actually doing well in the OCG, just because the deck is really cool for what it actually does. Alright, moving on along here. We're going to be looking at a little bit of love to Orcust. We do have 3 missing cards in the extra deck, just so you guys know. But all I've heard is everybody in TCG is like, oh, keep that Dark Warrior shit out of my Orcust deck. Why would you not want to play the best engine that your deck has? Look at it this way. The OCG has triple Mally and triple Armageddon Knight, and this is kind of what they've adapted to it. It's kind of dumb, actually. So this is some spicy stuff. So we have 2 copies of Armageddon Knight, 2 copies of Ash Blossom, 2 copies of Dark Gruffer, of course, triple copies of Malicious, of course, 2 copies of Ibly, the Extender from Hell. We have triple copies of Maxi, 2 copies of Orcust Symbol Skeleton, and 2 copies of Harp Horror. along with 2 copies of Orchestrated Nightmare. I'm so glad that this is a common in the TCG. We're not going to have to fend over this. We have 1 copy of the Ancient Cloak, 1 copy of Silent Boots, 1 copy of the World Legacy Chalice, actually. This was interesting. I'm kind of surprised to see that they're main decking this. Now, we are playing triple copies of Allure of Darkness, triple copies of Called by the Grave, 1 Foolish Barrel, 1 Orchestrated Babel, 1 Return, 1 Rhoda, 1 Eagle Booster, 1 Hornet Drones, and 2 Engage. I actually kind of like that this deck pulled a page out of the TCG in terms of splashing the Sky Striker engine. It's like a mini engine in your deck. Because, I mean, like, look how many spells you got. If you happen to, like, Allure, and then, you know, you get to the Engage to get to this, I mean, you're at least getting a plus further into the deck. Was actually fucking really good. Then traps, we have 2 copies of Impermanence, 1 copy of Orchestrated Climax, and 2 copies of Fogblade. It's definitely a shame to see that the TCG and the OCG have pretty much aligned on Rusty being probably the best fucking splashable engine that the deck has. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rusty getting banned at some point, or something happening to the PK engine, just because it's become an engine at this point. We do not like engines in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So we have the 3 missing extra deck cards. We have 1 Topological Bomber Dragon, 1 Rusty Tin Can, 1 Kagari, of course, we have 1 Orchestrated Nightmare, we have Unicorn, Phoenix, Mermaid, Cerberus, of course, Orcust, Boral Sword, Starving Venom, and Chimera. You can definitely tell that one of these is Dingrisu, the Avaram monster. Just kind of things to fill in there. Side deck, we have 1 copy of Prinkatops, 1 copy of Ghostbell, 2 copies of Fanta Amaze again, 1 Feather Duster, 2 Mind Control, 2 Super Poly, 2 Twin Twisters, 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance, 1 copy of Dimensional Barrier, and 1 Unending Nightmare. Man, Orcust is such a dumb deck. Like, in general, I think that overall, the fact that this deck is as good as it actually is kind of crazy. Now, the deck winning the event, of course, goes to Burning Abyss. And I don't know how many people were shocked about this. They're like, oh my god, BA won? Well, I mean, yeah, Sekka's Light's a really fucking good card. I really actually hope that they don't end up hitting this. But this is the winning OCG Championship deck list from this past weekend. So we have 1 copy of Alich, 2 copies of Ash Blossom, 1 copy of Barbar, 1 copy of Calcab, triple copies of our friend Seer, 1 Fairy Tale Snow, triple copies of Farfa, 2 copies of Fiendish Rhino Man. It's kind of strange, but I understand. Like, the TCG be playing 3 Fiendish Rhino, like it's our job. Of course, the OCG puts more of a priority on Gallus. I guess this is probably just due to end-of-match procedures and things like that. Of course, we have 2 copies of Ghostbell, 2 copies of Ghost Ogre, just additional names. We have Triple Graph. Why would you not max out on the whole deck? Like, literally, the fact that this deck is as unrestricted as it is in the OCG, and it's not doing as great, it's like the first time it's actually done something. We have 1 copy of Libic, triple copies of Max C, 2 copies of Orbital Hydrolander, of course, triple Gamma, about time. This with Lambada is crazy. We have 1 copy of Rubik, 2 copies of Skarm, 1 copy of Talcum Timborg, and 2 Terratop, 1 Tour Guide, 1 Driver, and triple Sekka's Light. Now the extra deck down here, of course we have 1 Lambada, 1 copy of Unicorn, 1 copy of Phoenix, 1 Needle Fiber, 1 Shirabini, 1 copy of Boral Sword, 1 Borreload, 1 copy of Break Sword, 2 Dante, 2 Beatrice, 1 Wonder Magician, 1 Psyframe Lord Gamma, or Omega, and 1 copy of the Old Pilgrim. The side deck, we have 2 DD Crow, 2 Denko Rekka, 2 copies of Prinkatop, or triple copies of Prinkatops, 2 Gamma Seal, 2 Lava Golem, what the hell? 2 copies of Vanity's Fiend, and 2 Saravis. The fact that this still acts as a hand trap, during either player's turn, your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a monster, you discard that card and negate that activation. This card is really spicy for a lot of things, but I'm not inherently surprised CBA do well. I mean, I am, but it's like, BA's bound to have its time to shine eventually, and especially with, considering, look at these restrictions. I mean, like, one, we don't care about this, but, like, the fact that the deck has 4 more support cards, and it's only taken this long, also, I mean, we've only got 1 Beatrice on our side of the game, it's interesting to see how this is done. So, guys, tomorrow is Market Watch. Now, I know we've been doing Market Watch for a good chunk of the week here, but bear with me. You know, a lot of changes, a lot of things as well, a lot of discussions to be had. And, well, guys, I'd like to hear your opinion on what is going on in the OCGs. Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. And, well, guys, I will catch you on the flip side. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vancol40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.